anytime Andy feels the pain, he can fart.
I'm starting? Okay.
I thought you were.
What?
What?
Okay, are we fighting over this? Let's change this. Who's
Wait,
starting?
hold on.
I will start.
Let's rock, paper, scissors for it. 1, 2, 3, rock! Okay, I win! I won!
I feel like this ends up as the beginning of the podcast.
Probably. Okay, so since I won, I'll decide the order. We're gonna go Andy, Ethan, Jake, Scott, me.
Oh, you meant, do I want to go first for the, opening? Okay, that's what,
You're going, Andy,
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just meant who's going to start this thing. But we're
Okay,
definitely
I will.
sticking with this now, because this is
Andy, you don't get a choice. I won rock, paper, scissors. You're introducing yourself first.
Okay.
Rock, strum, salt.
Okay.
Hello, everybody! How are you today? We're doing pretty fine. We know how to start a podcast.
We're pretty experienced at this point. At least me and Scott.
Yeah, and even Andy somewhat.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Okay.
Andy,
Speaking
why haven't
of
you introduced
Andy.
yourself?
That's a lot.
Great introduction from Andy. On to Ethan.
I'm Ethan. I like anime and memes and the combination of the two.
And we just got 3 dislikes on YouTube.
Alright, well, hey Jake, you're up.
I'm Jake. I'm the only one here that doesn't actually watch anime. I also have a tornado as a computer.
Perfect. And lastly and most importantly, I'm Eric, and I'm kind of just a god, you know? I mean, it's nothing really more to it than that.
Okay, that's
Anyway,
pretty good.
yeah.
So, this week, and by week I mean this year, we are gathered to discuss the great shows airing in the spring of 2016.
Believe it or not, they
that,
actually
may,
did.
that may or may not have aired many weeks ago.
Sorry, don't worry about
Listen,
it.
there's only been one of each of those, these, plus maybe we've seen some other stuff.
Yeah. I was actually, this season's been pretty good. I'm really impressed.
So, yeah.
I mean,
But
there were a
there's
few
lot.
okay shows.
Wow. Okay, Ethan, you think you're so cool? Because you don't like things? Huh? You punk? Alright, anyway,
Well, I
so,
mean,
top number 1,
Okay, I can't
God.
do
Hooray
it.
for Skype dying.
Andy with the technical voice crack. Anyways,
Anyways, this
Scott,
week-
Moyoga's your show, yeah?
What?
Moyoga's your show, yeah?
Yeah, but okay, I'm explaining this thing.
Oh.
Explain this. So what we're doing is we're talking about 10 shows. Each person chose 2 shows, and everyone had to watch the first episode. And we'll now be discussing those episodes, starting in airing order with Mayoga, which was my show, and was about a group of teenagers, angsty teenagers, and some adults. They went into the woods
to see a village that was lost.
So I think that this show, first episode, right, was pretty solidly a 5. Alright, and then it got better.
A
Wait, you're giving away your ratings already?
Like, no, I mean just in general, this is like a 5 show for me.
Oh, you know,
No.
see,
Okay,
okay,
we're rating these shows.
like out of 5 or out of 10?
Out of 10.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. You know, I mean, I really liked John and Jack and Steve and Carly and all the characters that I can't fucking remember the names of because there's too many of them.
You know what?
So
You
many
know what?
characters. I mean, I like the show a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I can't remember any of the characters.
I like the 3 characters with the same name.
Oh yeah, no, that really helps things. It helps things a lot. 3 characters with the same name.
But
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that the peak of that episode was the song strategically
Oh
placed in the middle.
yes. Did you ever finish learning that?
No.
Lucky hip hop soup.
The bus driver was also pretty great.
Yeah.
Also when he got thrown up on. That's something
Oh, yeah.
delicious.
No,
And I think that this show does have a lot of potential. However, it could also go in like a really bad direction if they just don't do anything with the characters that they just introduced.
See, I see this show as kind of a blank. Where I think a lot of people that like it a lot, and a lot of people that don't understand it because it's a little more abstract. You know, it's not like your standard show, and I appreciate that. But I can see it having trouble catching people's interest.
See, the good thing is, right, it's by
I'm
the
just-
same director as another and stuff. I
God.
think it's gonna go in the right direction.
That's fair. That's fair.
Andy, what
Like,
do you think?
Oh, I'm just so excited for when that 30 goes down to like at least 5. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, they're all gonna start.
Bus
dying.
crash kills 29. The last guy alive just put the flag down.
Oh,
It's a post 9/11 America, and he is ready to take that bus.
Now, has anyone
Yeah,
actually
falls
seen
over.
past episode 1 of this one?
I have not. I meant to.
Okay.
I have not.
I have not.
I've
I
watched
have
all
not.
5 episodes, and it gets better every episode.
That's great news.
Wait, there's only 5 episodes?
Yeah, it's 5
So
episodes.
far.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I forgot that,
Like-
you know.
Things just go to, like, Crazy Town really quickly. Because the thing that's
Okay.
great,
You can
I
expect
mean-
it.
so you realize everyone's not just, like, jokingly crazy. Everyone's really crazy. Like,
Oh.
the one that keeps saying, like, execute people actually tries to murder someone. And there's one
that's
kid
weird.
that was, like, a criminal because he tried to stab some guys that were bullying him.
Oh,
So-
come on, dude. Stop with this buzz.
Like, half the group, or not, like, a few of the group is, like, really, really crazy, and then some of the group is just kind of, like, wanting to start
Normally.
over, and they're suddenly realizing this is a bad idea.
Alright, well, I personally love psychological thriller, but I'm looking forward to this show a lot.
Jake.
Jacob, what are you doing?
Jake.
Stop wrestling that bear, please.
No, he's, like, pawing his computer.
Jake says they cover that in the actual Weebcast too. Mike not muted, my bad. Thanks, Jake.
What's up,
Like, he's not
guys?
muted?
Oh, hi. Hello. Hello, friends. Maybe
Good job.
unmuting wasn't a good idea.
You know what? Probably not.
Jake, maybe you need a new start in a
Like, I
fun
definitely
lost
took a lot
village.
of, that kind of formed my opinion of this show.
Alright, so I think that's enough of,
So let's go down
mean,
the line with scores. In my order, because I'm looking at this. Andy, what do you say for a score out of 10?
I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. I'm really hopeful for this show. It's pretty unique as it stands right now. I hope it does great things. And I can't wait until I see some of my favorite characters die.
Nice. Jake, what do you have for a score?
This is an 8 because I just think the whole concept of these random kids going to a village is pretty great, and it's one of the shows that made me want to go back and watch it the most.
Okay. Eric, what do you have for a score?
I also have this as a 7 out of 10. I was rating this against a lot of other shows that I like a lot. And so it's tough competition, but I love the concept, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I love the general style and the genre. So I think it's going to be pretty great.
Thanks. And Ethan?
I gave this an 8 out of 10, as with Jake. And I would have given it a 7 out of 10, but I think that hippopotamus song really bumped it up that extra point. Good song.
That was an amazing song, to be fair.
That was a pretty good song.
Yeah.
And that
I probably
comes to a
should've got
total
better.
of, we'll figure this out, possibly, 30. Personally,
Yeah, that sounds right.
I
that's
didn't
really
score
good.
this because I watched this. I picked this show.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
think we ever.
so
Did we ever
far-
explain our scores at all?
Oh, yeah, so we're rating the shows kind of against each other out of 10. Everyone who didn't pick the show is rating the show. And it's kind of like a draft system. And whoever gets the most points for both of their shows at the end wins the podcast or something like that.
Yeah, Brad.
Except some of these people didn't pick a bad show, so they're obviously going to win.
That's a fair
Wait,
point.
This
Yeah,
point,
you
should
did
we
take
talk
us
about predictions?
No.
Okay.
Everyone knows that I'm literally a god. I did introduce it, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
Eric, your shows are bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, wow,
Speaking
okay.
of Jake firing shots at people, Jake, why don't you introduce your first show?
Alright, so my first show is Gunbuster. I think it has some
Gunbuster.
potential, and that's just what I'm gonna leave it with.
Yeah,
You know what,
I
this
mean,
is,
How would you
this-
describe anything about it?
You know, this show, there's mechs, there's girls, they're training in the school. That's all you really need to know.
Okay, this show is literally a ripoff of the cult classic from 1988, Al Noah Zero. I have to give it a 1 out of 10. I'm sorry.
Well, then.
I mean, I'll be honest, like, the graphics are, like, a little outdated. Like the animation quality is, like, it's a little below the par today. I was a little disappointed with that. But,
I think my opinion of the show was I didn't like the cheerleading robots. Thought that was a little bit that put me off from the show. And then it went into a Rocky training montage, and I was like, all right, I can see where this is going. And then they blasted off in Japan Airlines, and I was like, they're going to space, and it didn't make sense. So
Alright, this is also the only show I've seen more than the first episode is, and it definitely gets better, but the first episode's a little rough.
I mean, like,
Right.
there's a no-name director. Who the hell has heard of Pete DiCiano?
Yeah, I
Where
mean,
did he
like,
come from?
I don't
I
know.
believe he did
it's-
like a season of Sailor Moon or something.
Yeah, probably. But like, I think this might go places, but it's probably just another shit next slice of life. So what can you do?
Okay, I'm gonna just throw it out there. This show is literally perfect, and every episode is 10 out of 10, which is why I gave this episode
Scott, I don't believe you.
I gave Gunbuster a 3 out of 10 for me. I wasn't a fan.
Wow. Care to explain more?
Well, I don't know. I really look at animation quality in shows, and that really can either that can make me watch more or drop it. And in the show, I definitely, because of that animation quality, I have to drop it. So
Follow-up question, Ethan. Who hurt you, and why do you hate things that are good?
you know, I primarily watch slice of life anime, so my brain's a little bit messed up from that.
Okay, that's fair.
And looking at the shows Ethan picked compared to other people and Slice of Life, I don't necessarily believe you.
Yes, that's fair. I think Andy is our resident garbage.
Yeah,
That's for sure, fuck yourself.
I mean, I did pick 100.
Fair enough. Anyway,
It's fun.
so I gave the show an 8 out of 10. I gave the show an 8 out of 10 just because I really like the narrative direction it was taking. And really, it addresses a lot of like current social issues, like sexism and like bullying, cyberbullying especially. A lot of modern issues in this 2016 world that we need to deal with. There's robots and there's bullying and cyberbullying. That's how it works. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it can really go great place. Animation, but hey, what can you do? Digital physics.
Yeah, did the recording pick up any of that? Because I cannot hear a single thing just said.
Eric,
Wow,
I
that's
heard
good.
you mostly loud and clear.
That's good.
Okay.
So did I.
Like there was
Okay,
one sentence where you cut out, and that was it.
Ooh, that's not good.
You'll be
Anyway,
fine.
what do you guys have to say?
Wait. Didn't we already go through?
Andy was a 1, right?
I was a 1.
Okay, so
That
so we're good. We're there. The total is 20 points for Gunbuster. The perfect
Wow.
show, 20 out of 10.
Wow.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, see, that's because these people are scrubs and don't appreciate good art.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay. Now I think Scott, you the next show.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess we're okay. So I'll introduce the next show, which is of course JoJo's, the technically third season, 4th part of JoJo's. And we started here because you can start pretty much anywhere with JoJo's, but JoJo's is a classic shonen manga adapted into an anime recently, starring one of the JoJo's, because there's a bunch of JoJo's and each part has all of the different JoJo's. They fight things, and it's a just classic shonen, but that's fun.
You just kind of like fell into the cave there.
Yeah.
Like, just slowly trailed off into nothingness. That's what I just heard. Gotta love Skype, man. Gotta love Skype.
Skype is great.
So personally, I got a lot of friends that are JoJo fans, and I never really boarded that train. I can understand its appeal, but I just never got into it. It's a lot to take in. But I watched the first episode of the show, and I liked it a lot. It was the color palette. First of all, I was very impressed by the color palette. It was so great. It was perfect.
See,
Like, the show is so pretty.
I see JoJo.
Gay and gay.
I see JoJo at like a bit above like those like One Piece and Bleach, but like actually good. But like,
Shots
Fight
fired.
me.
Shots fired.
but it's on the same level in that I have to put in a lot of time and effort to get into it because I'm already like how many seasons behind? I don't even know. You said 23 or something like that.
No, 3.
3.
23.
You know,
23 seasons behind.
Technically 23 years, I think. No,
That's
that's
fair,
someone made
that's
up.
fair.
Never mind, I lied.
yeah, I
I
don't know.
think that's
So, but it's like I really like it, and I might at some point if I run out of anime, 'cause that's a thing that happens. I'll go to it. And I'll be like, all right, this is a good show. I think it's a really good show. I liked it a lot. And it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were kind of, Yeah, sorry. I think you're kind of right about, like, you can pick it up at any point along the way, but I felt like I was missing a lot of context and a lot of the character hype that I'd be getting if I'd watched the rest of the episodes. I mean, it's also it's a very theatrical show as well, which I like it. But that kind of it kind of keeps it for the most part for me like just behind that border of a great anime from a good anime, because it is fun and it does do what it does perfectly. But it doesn't always take itself seriously, which is that can be a good thing. That can be a good thing, but it's not a comedy focused show. It's an action focused show.
It is a comedy focused show.
Well, I haven't really. That's a fair point. I haven't actually watched it besides that first episode, but the first episode wasn't very joke oriented, as far as I could tell, because I didn't find myself laughing really. Besides, like the first hair joke, that was good stuff. They call him Astro Boy. Love that shit. Astro Boy's my jam.
Jake, what do you have to say?
I said that I really liked it. I think my experience was kind of changed because I watched it with two of you guys, and we were just sitting early in the morning and going, "This is awesome." And this was my first experience with a new season of JoJo, and I really liked it.
Also, OP is on point, and the ED is like even more on point than usual.
I can agree with that, actually. The ending was great. The ending song was great.
And
I don't quite, yeah.
Sorry,
Can we take a step back to what Ethan just did? And just like gargled just there? Sorry.
No.
A little confused. Like,
So I was about to say that I didn't pay attention really to the openings and endings, and then I swallowed.
that really upsets me for a later show that we'll talk about.
honestly, though. Anyway, sorry. Keep going, Andy.
No, I'm JoJo. I love the show. I am a season behind on it, so I can't really go full throttle into this one without finishing it. But I love the first episode.
Much easier for Rawson.
What? Yeah, how about you be
Hey,
quiet?
let's talk about people who aren't in the podcast, Scott. People don't understand that.
Yeah, people don't exist. Oh wait, yeah, the one listener we have won't understand who Rawson
Fair enough. No, they probably will.
is. Show it to Sophie.
Shoutouts. Woo. The OG
Also,
viewer.
we have an actual Twitter follower.
What?
Like,
Wait, we have a
actual
Twitter?
follower. Like
What?
a band.
Wait,
A
that
random
like,
person?
Like, I at one point followed a band, right? And they followed us
Yep.
back, and that's a real
Oh my
thing.
god.
Guys,
What
guys,
band? Can we get
going
it back?
beyond that, we have a Twitter follow. We have a Twitter.
Yo, wait, what?
Twitter's a
Slapdash
thing?
Studios. You can find us at Slapdash Studios on Twitter.
I don't. Let's quickly look this up.
Yeah, let's
I don't quite believe you.
No, we got
This is Slapdash Studios. Oh my god. Oh my god. This guy's page is beautiful. Why didn't you tell me about this?
I did tell you when we started this thing.
Okay, but why didn't I listen?
I don't know.
Two followers,
What
no
is
problem.
this? Check out our video for the Regrets Crash the Super Bowl content.
Oh man.
What?
What?
Yeah, you guys should
We gotta get
totally
locked
check
up.
out the website.
Yeah, you guys should check out that Twitter page. I just checked it out, and I think it's quite impressive.
As a member that didn't know about it, it's pretty great.
It's a learning experience for all of us, you know?
Okay, so I guess let's go to
And
the
ending
scores
remarks? Ending remarks.
What is this?
then. My ending remark is this show is always the best. It's full of jokes. This part is one of my favorite parts. It's one of a lot of people's favorite parts. Part 4, it's gonna be great.
Alright, so, the score there?
I did this show, I didn't score it.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, I gave this one a 4, and it's not that I didn't like the show, it's that I just liked other shows in the season more. Like, there were a lot of shows that I really liked in this season, and I liked JoJo, I really did, you know, it was a fun show. But I just...
I gave this a 9.
I stopped.
Because
Yay.
I gave it a 9 because I really liked it, and out of all the shows, this is one of the 3 I really want to go back and watch.
I gave this show a 9 JoJo's out of 10.
Nice.
Now, what is that on the normal scale?
9.
Okay, cool, just making sure.
I gave this show 9 hair jokes out of 10 dead turtles. It's pretty good.
So it gets 3
Well, that
nines.
turtle scene was pretty
Ow.
brutal.
What a show.
Okay.
Looks like Captain's descent on Eric here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get totally shit on.
And I believe
Look at that.
that comes out to a total of 31 points in the lead
Whoa.
right now.
Ooh.
By 1 point. Above my other show.
Above your other show.
above your
yeah.
other show, yeah.
All right. So I think
until
we
we
know
get to
who's
like
taking this one.
the shows that people really like, it won't even matter. Speaking of shows people really like, Eric, why don't you introduce the next show?
All right. So my first show that I picked is Boku no Hero Academia, and wow, let me just tell you, I love this series, and I'm very happy that it got this adaptation. The show is about this kid from this world at this point. Almost everyone has a quirk, which is like a supernatural ability that everyone has, and it's changed and shaped society. And as crime rose, the need for heroes rose. So being a superhero became a profession. They help people out with their quirk, to prevent against criminals. And this one kid, he loves heroes, he idolizes them, but he doesn't have a quirk. And so the show is about him being a hero and following in the footsteps of All Might, the current greatest hero, the symbol of justice. He goes to a hero school and he learns a lot. I mean, it's a great hero's arc. I love the characters. It's a manga adaptation, and I would recommend that if you like the anime, read the manga because it is much better. See, I see the anime as like an added bonus to people who like the show, because the biggest problem with the show is its pacing. I'm a fanboy, I will not lie, but for me, like watching the anime is like I get to look back and say, hey, I remember when they did that in the anime, or sorry, in the manga. This is cool to see animated. But for someone watching it for the first time, it's probably going to be slow, because it is slow. I mean, it obviously goes much faster if you read it. I'd still recommend it. I still love it. I love the setting. The characters are all pretty interesting. You see some real developments. And just like superheroes are cool. What can I say?
So I watched this. I thought it was pretty solid. I went and read the manga. I started reading it before that, and then I read the rest of it afterwards. And ultimately, my opinion was relatively similar, I'd say. And that the manga was better until I watched the Weebcast, and they basically completely convinced me that the show was 10 times better. And then, like, when I got to the later episodes, like, it really convinced me that the show was 10 times better. Because they were all massive fans of both. And they were like, the show's just better because it focuses on the best parts of it, which are the idea of someone who doesn't have power really wanting power, they can't get that power. But then they get the power, and then that's the best part is over. They get the power and they become the shonen hero. I was like, yeah.
Now, I didn't really like this show, but granted, I haven't read the manga, but just going through and watching it, I mean, yeah, they're heroes, but that doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
Okay, Jake.
Okay.
Just come back with me for a second. Come out with me for a second. Do you hate America?
America could probably be better.
They even use a New Hampshire smash at one point.
It will be better under Trump.
Oh no. Okay, so Ethan, what are you trying to say there?
I would like to make a point that Jake's opinion is wrong. And I think Boku no Hero Academia is I don't know if I can say this, but it is my favorite show this season.
No, you're not allowed to say that. You must retract your statement. What are you talking about?
And I watched the second episode, but I haven't gone back to watch. I watched it when there was only 2, so I haven't gone back to watch more of it yet. I'm definitely going to. I think I'm going to wait for the rest of it to come out so I can just binge watch the whole thing like I do everything. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10.
My opinion? I love the fact that Japan is now getting involved in American politics, with the main character getting his superpowers from the one and only, the unstoppable Trumpable. And I really feel like this show is going places. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Good team. So I'm gonna take a step back. I'm thinking about what Scott said about how it focuses on the best part of the show. And that's a fair point, because the character building early in the show is what set it up for me to invest me so much in the characters. And that's where a decent amount of the development takes place. It's where a lot of the development takes place with the main character. So I guess the fact that it spends a lot of time there makes a lot of sense. I mean, I still think that the manga is obviously like the faster pace is appealing, But I've always liked slow shows anyway. I'll be honest. And I'm okay with their choice to slow things down and focus on the details. Because one thing that I noticed is that they don't leave out details from the manga, and I really appreciate that. They left in all the cool little stuff, like like the conversation with his mom when he was a kid. Like, no, Mom, that's not what I wanted you to say. That was really cool. That they left that full thing in. They kept all the little details, and it meant a lot to me as someone who already cared a lot about the series. And it's going. I think it's good at hooking people in.
So, can we take like 10 steps back and explain the Slapdash Studio joke?
It's not a joke. It's a Twitter.
We're Slapdash Saboteurs. That Twitter handle is not available, so we're just too long or something, so we end up with Slapdash Studios.
Yeah, it's yeah.
What?
It's not a joke even. It's not a joke. I don't get it. Anyway, any other comments?
Okay. So long.
Okay, so anyways, I enjoyed this show. I enjoyed the later episodes more, but I did all my ratings based on the first episode, and I give it the solid 6 out of 10.
Well, this show just wasn't for me. I just
Please.
couldn't get into it, and I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh.
Honestly, I quite like this show. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. If I haven't said that before, I think I already said that before.
Yeah, that's 28. That's pretty
Yeah.
No, it's 29.
good. All right. That's 29. My bad. Sweet. Are you sure? That was 2 9s, a 4, and a 6.
I gave it a 10.
You gave it 10.
Oh, you give it a 10. Oh, thanks, Ethan. What a champ.
So I'm just doing
Anyway.
some quick tallying up here. So, any final thoughts that we're going to buy, or are we good? Okay, we're good.
I think we're
Let's
good.
move on to the best show of the season, right, Andy? Thanks for
Oh,
making us
yeah.
all watch this, Andy.
Oh yeah. So my rationale behind choosing this show was it is an anime original with a pretty interesting topic, and I was expecting it to either A, be surprisingly good, or B, have so little funding that will be absolute crap. And it's kind of running down that awkward middle road where it's neither super bad where it's laughable, but it's sure as hell ain't good. So I know it's awful.
So hear me out here, all right? So there's a show. You got your standard like action show. It starts out with the main character, and he's boring and it's not interesting at all. So what do they do to make the show more interesting? What do people like? People love rocks. Make the main character love fucking rocks. That'll get people in. Everyone loves rocks. Yeah, great thinking, studio.
So if you shut your mouth right now, rocks are so fucking cool.
I
They're
don't
Everyone watch ASDF movies
He
so
loves
they can
rocks so
translate
much,
properly.
he manages to find the only rock with a whole new world inside of it.
I know, it's pretty sick.
Like,
Yeah,
you don't
believe
find many shows where the hobby of the character is the character. Because he's a fucking rock and it's garbage.
I know hobbies will translate to personalities, but it's like, oh god.
Anyway.
He's still better than the main character of most light novel adaptations. I'm just putting that out there.
No, he's not.
Is he?
Can I ask?
Okay, yes. Like that's not a very
in his loserness, unlike all of them.
exactly. Being better than a light novel character isn't a very high bar, but he manages to surpass that. But
You know,
it's the
I
show.
think he might just be at the level of another like novel character.
Can I ask why Issei Kyoto from High School DxD got another show?
Because he was hilarious.
Like, this show is bad.
Yeah.
He almost
It is
threw up
bad.
his
It's
balls.
awful.
It's bad and doesn't know it's bad.
Like, you know what makes
No, I
me
know
really
it's bad.
upset? You know what makes me really upset is when shows don't, like, when characters don't explain mysterious and things that happen, and they, like, treat other characters as idiots for not getting it. Like, the prince and the other people are like, wow, why didn't you understand why you're in this mystical world and what's going on? What are you, an idiot? God. That makes
I
me
love
mad.
that they don't question that he's in a red hoodie.
Take a minute and look up the main character from Endride, a picture of him, and Issei Kyoto from High School DxD, and compare their character models.
They're very similar, except somehow he's even uglier.
Yeah.
And I think Android's downfall was Issei Kyoto in this one was not obsessed with tits, so that really it was rocks because
Yeah.
everyone likes rocks, as we stated beforehand.
Totally.
Rocks go anyone and they become like 20 times as attractive. Yeah, staple rocks. Good thinking, Eric. Anyway.
Yeah, Jake, keep typing.
I'm sure you say Kyoto's only interested in one kind of rock.
Hey, what are you typing?
Looking up the main character of High School DxD, since I don't anime.
Perfect. What a champ.
They are
Okay.
pretty much the same, but one is in black with red, the other is with red.
All right, so I think we can all agree that the characters in this are garbage. They are literally rocks. Like, I don't see the story going anywhere interesting. It's. I don't like the setting. There's kind of weird rock land. I don't care about rocks. Like, if you're a geologist, sure, watch the show. Maybe it's interesting to you. I'm not a geologist. All right, hand me something good.
Quote Eric, I'm not a geologist.
You think, like, with rocks, they could do something interesting, but they're just,
Yeah.
all it does is summon swords, like every other show. Their soul turns into, like, a sword. They could have
Exactly.
done something with rocks, or they could have dropped rocks and just gone for, like, action or something.
Yeah. Anyway, so I gave this show a 2 out of 10 because there's one other show that I hated slightly more.
What
Alright.
coincidence! I also did the same thing, 2 out of 10.
You know, this was the show I liked the least. I gave it a 1 out of 10.
I also gave it a 1 out of 10.
All right, so
There
that's a
we go.
solid.
Well,
My score doesn't matter, but I give it a 3 out of 10.
All right. Andy.
like,
That's a
That
solid
actually-
5?
what third show
Yeah,
on this do you
that's
not
a
like?
6.
Oh, Gunbuster, yeah.
Anyway, so that was a 6 total, I think there.
You are correct, that was 6.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we're in my other show that I picked. So my second show that I picked was Joker Game. I picked this show because I once again I'm a fan of psychological type genres. So what the show is there's it sets in like the early stages of World War II in a small spy agency in Japan. That's kind of a small branch of the government that is its own little separate entity, and it focuses around a soldier who ends up working kind of with and for this spy agency as he slowly realizes like corruption, information like gathering and studying. And maybe I'm just an elitist, highbrow, intellectual type, but I like shows like this that pay attention to detail. I had a lot of fun with the first 2 episodes, and kind of seeing the main character, the soldier, change like to his surroundings, seeing him adapt to all these spies around him. But episode 3, it started derailing a little bit, and I stopped watching it from there. It stopped focusing on that character. So I don't really know what I'll think about it going on. But the first 2 episodes, I enjoyed a lot.
You know what? I really love Imperial Japan. I think it doesn't get enough praise in the anime industry. I think they're too afraid to be proud of their country and their history.
Exactly. They haven't actually said the word Nazi once.
You know what?
They're usually more positive of Nazis than they are Imperial Japan.
You know what? Nanjing didn't happen. Manchuria is rightfully belonging to Japan, as is Korea.
Japan hasn't made a single mistake, Andy.
I'm going to be expecting some anthrax on my doorstep soon.
Doesn't
This
sound
shows up,
deliberate.
I just don't think this show is very well executed. Just like the plot and the sequences they could have chosen, I just don't think make for a very entertaining show.
And care to explain a little more?
It's
Or,
because,
like, use an anecdote.
I mean, the Joker game itself in the actual show is
Oh
just
my
kind
God,
of
so
boring.
boring.
Yeah, they don't do much with it. They could make that so much better
Yeah,
in
they're just
any
like,
other
we're playing
ways, rather
cards.
than just
Oh,
we're
it wasn't
playing
actually
cards.
A card game, it was a trap.
It wasn't
Oh,
actually a
fine.
game. We just and then the soldier character I don't care at all for him.
They all look the same, also. Like,
Hey, man, this
they're
racist. That is
designed
racist.
Were we expected to care for the main character? I mean, I liked the show. Personally, I think it was way too slow, and it's not my kind of show. I think definitely I can see the appeal, and I can see why people would like the show. I don't think it was a bad show in general. I think they could have done it better.
This is one of the shows I went into wanting to like it and expecting to like it out of all the shows, which I wasn't thinking I was going to for very many of the shows. But I just think it didn't come anywhere close to any expectation I had for it.
All right, so taking a step back here, Ethan, what do you think would have made it better?
Well, I think if they made it quicker, honestly, like it's slow-paced show. I think if they had even like shortened the episode or just put more into it, put more like of the meat of the show and not of the breaking into the guy's house twice. Like I think it was just.
I think there was a very poor planning choosing to do that because I just don't get anything from it. And if anything, it just makes me dislike the main character for making them, for going through and putting them in this situation, which they get it from breaking into or going through and searching the American official's house.
Sorry, so I'm just, what was the complaint again about going to the house?
He didn't like the main character.
Just like forcing him in that position, just like it's supposed to make you go through and add some suspense in it, considering it's essentially a trap. But that just makes me dislike the main character and not care about the outcome of what actually happens and repercussions from that search.
I just feel like they're trying to go with a like really high end, like really high concept, a lot of thinking show where you have a whole bunch of interesting characters interacting with each other and trying to achieve a goal. And the entire thing is supposed to be very complex. However, in order to do that, you need to structure it out so that it appears like there is going to be some progress over the episode. And they just didn't do that. It just kind of went from nothing to appears to be going somewhere back to nothing.
Yeah, I'd say the whole thing at the beginning, they set up, usually when you do something like that, it's for the beginning of a season, and then you reveal it at the end of the season or something. That'd be more interesting. But like, it was too quick, and all the stuff in between, a lot happens, but it's all done really slowly, but none of the important stuff's revealed. It's like training montage into him arguing with a guy because he doesn't like it, and then he still goes along with it anyways. And like he signs something, and he plays the Joker game, and he's surprised that really the spies being spies. And then they explain spies, how spies work. Like, here's how spies work, and then they're like back to the beginning.
Alright, that's fair.
So, well, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10.
I give this a 6 out of 10.
I give it 6 out of 10 also.
I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Ooh, savage.
Man, I got wrecked.
And that brings us to a total of 19.
Alright. Oh, well.
Okay, so now we're going with the show that has come out. I think it came out last season also, and the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that.
Excuse me, Andy, this is my show. So, 100, I guess, is a show about...
Yes, I mean,
well,
think about it.
you know, to be fair, it was the first one I watched and tried to erase my memory. So, the main character... like well known, he scored highest in the entrance exam, I guess, for this place, and something like that. He goes to do this thing, and they're fighting these, I don't know, what are they called? I don't even know, savages. And he, like, in his childhood, something happened with it. It's not really explained actually like, at all. At least in episode 1. And so he gets this thing called his 100, and he can use a weapon at will. And then there's his roommate is totally not a girl.
Well, it could just be in a very effeminate male.
It's true.
With, a vagina.
With another name that with another name that they purposely tried to hide from this guy. Anyway, basically, it's 20 minutes of cancerous bump-ins with this feminine guy/girl, and
who jumps on him in the beginning of the episode with no explanation.
I want to start off by saying I picked this show because it looked terrible, and I wanted it to be.
You were
and
right.
it was.
Good job.
So,
All right.
I think I won.
Good job.
Yes, Ethan, you did the best. All right,
It's
I'm also
the
gonna
lowest score possible.
Probably.
start this off. Actually, no, it's not gonna be the lowest score possible.
I know
Yeah.
Jake actually.
Yep.
Actually, I think I've rated this higher than the total score of some other shows.
What?
One of them got a 6, to be fair. He needs higher than that one specifically.
You gave
Yep.
this show a 7?
Yep.
Oh,
Jake, please.
Jacob,
Oh my god.
did you not watch The Asterisk War Sucks? You gotta realize this is flashbacks. It's the same plot.
It's literally the asterisk war. It's the same
But
thing.
this year, I've watched maybe 4 other shows before this season, so I don't watch a lot of anime, and I don't watch basically any crappy anime.
Don't.
And so watching this, I'm just laughing the whole time about how horrible it is, and I haven't seen enough to just think to just cringe the whole time, and so I can actually enjoy it. I don't know if I watch any more of it, I'll enjoy it. But then watching again with another friend, we just ended up laughing even harder, and it was even better the second time, which I'm sure none of you would agree with.
Like,
See, you're just a fresh new one. You're new to the
it's
world.
called
You'll be
100
corrupted
because
in
you've seen
time.
it 100 times before.
Exactly. Okay, so this is a common trend between shows these days, which is horrible, which is that the main character starts off with everything. Because this character starts off, he's like the top of his class, he's untouchable, but he's got some kind of secret past trauma, and that's gonna be like the thing that he deals with is something happened in the past. It's supposed to make him a weaker character, but he's not.
Another thing I want to interject is that the enemies that we don't really know much about are savages. And the one thing I want from this show that would just make me so happy is for someone to get wrecked by a savage. All I
It's not
want.
worth it. It's not worth
It's not
it.
worth it. It's
It's
not worth
it's
it.
not worth it. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth it. It's-
It would be a brutal savage that wrecks him, but it's not worth it.
Exactly. And if it doesn't happen in the show, it's going to happen here.
Fair enough. But like, it's so bad, and it's so much like every other show because it's a copy. It's not a copy. It's Scott said it earlier. It's like the same as the Aztec War.
It's the
The
same,
same
as
as-
the last one.
It's the same as the last one. Like the character starts off with nothing to grow, nothing to learn, and it's just gonna be cringe-worthy, like rom-com elements, and then you get an action sword fight. And then
I'm sorry, but do not associate this with rom-coms.
It's a rom-com element, Sandy. I'm sorry if I infringed upon your territory.
There were literally parts of the show where I said out loud to myself what was going to happen, and I was right. I was like,
Yeah.
he's gonna be roommates with her. And then, like, I'm like, oh, and she's going to be naked when he first goes in, and I was right.
Also, how the hell were they supposed to like swing? Oh yeah, she was a guy. Oh what? Like, where did they imply that anywhere in the episode?
Nowhere.
Before-
I don't understand why she would even pretend to be
Yeah,
a
I
guy.
don't know the context other than like
It's
if
really-
she wants to be his roommate. But then she's
I mean, like,
embarrassed when he's
people in
I
the
mean-
school clearly know that she's a girl.
I
So I don't
think
know
we've
why
all
they even
seen
allow
The
that.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
So, watching it with my friend, we had a discussion whether we think she's trans or a trap. And that was interesting.
Trap.
She's a reverse
What?
trap.
Trap. First trap.
I can confirm
that-
she is a reverse trap. She's not trans.
But she doesn't even look like a guy.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think you can call that a reverse trap. She's very clearly a female.
So the show pretends she's a reverse trap, but she's clearly a female.
Yeah, like it's pretty obvious. They don't want to. They want to make sure that the audience doesn't miss anything because this is catered towards like monkeys.
Yeah, because if you watched this and you didn't realize it was a guy, you'd be like, oh, where's the romance? Better skip off, because you're not real for Twin Tail Girl, obviously. Who likes Twin Tails? There's been like one good Twin Tail girl ever, and I don't know. Oh my god, Andy, please.
I have to agree with Scott on this one here. Like Neil their attack is cool and all, but it's very unreliable.
Or sorry, I said Twin Tails. I meant Drill. Twin Tails are
Okay,
solid.
there we go. Okay, I agree with that. Drills are awful.
Twin Tails are solid. I'm fine with them.
Eh.
I meant Drills.
They're okay at best.
Sure, like that, I'm fine with this. But
Alright.
Drills, like there's been one good Drill girl, and I can't think of.
Have we? Is this?
So,
Is this?
so
Is
Katarina
this
JoJo had the best drill girl of all time.
But I feel like there's been one like actually good one, but I just don't know who it is.
like, hold on. I need to look up a picture of this just so I can reaffirm what a drill girl looks like. Let's see.
It's like
I'm looking
hair
up drill.
that are in Twin Tails, but they're spiral.
Okay, so I've looked up drill girl on Google, and I've not found what I expected to find. Sexualized pictures of girls holding drills. The first two are the same woman in a bra, and most of the first 20 are very similar to that.
So we got the
So-
anime girl with drill hair.
All right.
That sounds
I like how anime girl drill hair is a suggested search.
knows what you like.
And the
Oh.
first one is a
Oh
compilation.
yeah, no, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but Nanny's like the only one there, really.
Oh yeah, and she doesn't
That's
really
okay.
count,
Yeah,
honestly. Like,
it's not that drilly.
but if
Alright,
you can't count it,
guys.
then I'll say she's the one good one.
Yeah.
Anyways, back
Anyway,
to
any-
this show. This show's trash.
It's garbage. I hate it.
One out
Like,
of 10.
I'm also gonna throw it out. I recognize the fact that the show is bad, and that's why I like it.
Jake,
That's
this
fair.
is why we hate you.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Jake. Get out. Anyway, so for ratings, I mean, I gave this show. I will be honest. I gave this a show. I gave this show a 30 because there were 2 more shows that I hated more than it. We already talked about Enride. Listen, we'll get to the show that I hated the most later.
How could you
But-
do this?
I do. Don't get me wrong. I hate this show and I hate the standards that it sets. But you know, it
This
looks
is how they get
okay.
away with it.
It sounds
It's
okay.
because you
It
don't
is-
take up a stand against. You take up a stand against innocent shows with hot tan girls. What are you doing?
I didn't watch episode 2, Scott. You know that.
I don't even think she was in episode.
Anyway, other source.
I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. I really think that it lacks originality and everything else, but I'm still probably going to watch it later tonight.
Oh my god. This is how they-
Yeah.
Step on JoJo's, please.
How about you? How do you guys go away? This
Otaku killed the anime industry.
We went over this earlier, but I gave this a 7 because it was the first show I watched, and I enjoyed it way too much. I was expecting it to be horrible, and it surpassed the bottom of my standards.
I was expecting this to be horrible, and it meant everything. Like, I predicted things, I hated it, I kept thinking, you're never too young to have a Vietnam flashback, and I was like, this is a 1 out of 10.
Oh man.
So what's the score?
Total 15 points.
That's
More
so-
than double Endride.
So I want to.
More than half of Boku no Hero Academia.
So are you able to? I think this should be the image for the podcast.
I will look
I
at
think
whatever
that's-
images
I
later.
disagree entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
yes, that should exactly be it.
That's garbage, and I don't appreciate it.
I can make it better, but
May I take your hat, sir,
Ethan,
and
I
escort
think-
you outside?
we also need to talk about the fact that the guy from Enride he's wearing his pants backwards.
What?
What?
His back pockets are on the front.
What?
Oh no! Oh no, you're right! Oh no! Please turn this around! I have to put a picture of this up because his pants are backwards.
I already put it up. Yeah. You have to put it up for the podcast.
You guys seen this? This is the back pocket.
I've taken the liberties of making the Issei Hode, whatever his name is, making his shirt the same color as Enride, and making his eyes purple, and they're the same.
Yes, can confirm are same.
Anyway,
Alright, so should I move on? Since I'm next. Alright, so the next show is Bungo Stray Dogs. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but
Fight the power.
It's bunghole.
Bunghole.
No, Andy, please.
thanks, Andy.
alright, this is a show. There's a starving orphan, there is a suicidal detective, there's an overly organized detective, and I just love it. It's amazing. I really enjoy the sound design in this show, and there's some elements that are just great. Like there's random flashing arrows telling you where to go as objectives, and I think that's amazing.
Even JoJo's too.
And just this show is great. I love it. It gets me. I get it. And this is one of the shows I enjoyed the most. I picked this show almost randomly, and I wasn't disappointed.
Okay, so I just want to speak on this. So episode starts out with the main character hungry and penniless, and he decides to join in on this detective case, trying to figure out what's going on. And they're guys with superpowers, and they form a detective agency, and they help stop other guys with superpowers. And what I'm really saying is, I'm really happy that Hamatora got a 3rd season. No, I honestly like this show. I think it could do really good.
Alright, so I like this show. Like, don't get me wrong, I like this show. I called what happened to the main character, him being the tiger, and that's not a big
That was
deal.
really easy.
That's fine. It's pretty obvious.
There were enough
But that's-
characters for like another person
Yeah.
to be.
honestly, there weren't. So that's not really a fault. The characters were interesting, but I just feel like I just felt like it wasn't doing enough. And there was heavy competition here. I guess just spoilers here. I gave the show a 4 just because of the heavy competition that there was in this season. It's not like it was bad. I just felt like it could do more, and maybe it does pass the first episode. But the first episode was a little slow. I'm glad they introduced the characters, and they're okay. They seem relatively one-dimensional right now, most of them, but that can always change. It's the first episode. I don't know. I would categorize the show as like okay to good.
I like it. I think it was. I enjoyed it as a show. I think it's one of the ones that, depending on how the studio takes it, it could do well. Or first episode doesn't show me anything that is awful, but it doesn't show me anything that like sticks out either. It could go anyway.
Did it record that? Because I didn't hear Ethan for a solid 10 seconds there.
Yeah, that's why I said
Yeah,
no.
I
I thought
didn't
this call
either.
dropped out. I think he just shut up.
Okay.
Oh, my mic might have done. Whatever. I was,
All right.
Sorry. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, see, I enjoyed this show. It was just kind of fun.
Please put away your pack of dogs.
Andrew, please.
Listen, I know it's straight dogs, but
Come on.
That's a blunder. That's a blunder.
turn your mic on.
Wait, so yeah, there's this thing called mute.
No, that's a blunder that's a blunder 2 rooms away.
I'm
Okay,
glad.
I know, but
Turn
still
off your
mute.
mic for a minute.
Please.
Oh wait, is Andy gone? Wonderful.
He's gone. All right. Okay.
That's a nice theme.
Thanks, Andy. All right, Scott. You.
I mean, that was about it. It's fun. I enjoyed the show. I was like, it kept me like some of these shows. When I liked them more, I was a bit hard to get through because I was just like, there'd be a moment that was dull. This one was always
What?
what?
Scott going to a cave again for you guys.
I would like to inform the audience we are sponsored by Skype. That is why the quality of the call is so top tech.
Yep. Anyways, 7 out of 10.
All right, that's fair. I don't know. There was a lot of competition here for me.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the seasonal. Anyway, Andy, if you got anything to say, please do it quickly.
Yeah, say a number and shut up.
Oh, is that picture? Is that how you feel about the show?
That's from me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I feel like that should be.
Where's
Where's
The same place that mute is, Andy.
Okay, I got it. I'm gonna give this 7 blunders out of 10.
Okay. That's fair
Alright.
enough. You have a lot of
Yeah.
blunders.
How? Okay, never mind.
I mean, okay. So I think that's good. Jake, anything else you want to add? End here.
What do you think?
I really like this show. My rating doesn't really count, but I'd put it right up there with Magoika and JoJo for me.
So what intrigued you so much about it?
I just love the characters and the detectives, and I don't know.
Like, all of the characters are just fun.
They're
Like, it's just a fun show to me.
Okay.
Like, I could definitely see this being one of those shows that, like, everyone enjoys, but no one finishes. Because, like,
Yeah, that's fair.
it's just fun. But, like, I don't know what a whole lot's gonna happen.
I can agree with that because yeah, I do like the characters. I'm not sure if they're gonna change, but I do like them. Anyway, so have we all given scores for this one?
I didn't hear
Unless
that.
it's-
I given it a 7 out of 10.
that's a solid
Another captain's descent on Eric.
3 7s and a 4. All right, yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Okay.
so that brings us to a total of 25, which
Yeah.
makes it the 3rd highest rated show.
Okay.
No, 4th, I lied.
So next one, woohoo! Ethan, you're up.
All right, so Kisniver. I picked Kisniver because it seemed like no one else was going to, and probably the most promising show of the season. So
What's it about?
it's about a character that basically can't feel. He has very high pain tolerance. That's the premise of it. So
Gosh darn it, Ethan.
I don't think that's the premise of it.
Ethan, please.
that's the premise of the first episode. Wait,
I don't think that's the premise of it.
No, I don't think it is, Ethan. Come on.
And so this character who forget who she is, but she gathers a bunch of people together, and they're specifically like the Japanese deadly sins based off
Modern-
That was
It's
so
not Japanese.
stretch.
It's
That
modern
was
it's-
deadly
it's-
sins.
yeah. Yeah.
And so they're the kids in Iver, and they all feel each other's pain. I only watched episode 1, so.
What a
I
nerd.
did.
Alright.
I think that it was good. I probably have the worst opinion of it because I expected much more from Trigger.
Why?
Friggin' nerd.
There was no clip art. That was a win.
That's true. I mean, there was no clip art. But I don't know. Maybe I need to watch more before I see it. But I didn't think the first episode really gave me what I was expecting.
Alright.
Okay, I just want to put this out there. This isn't even the most Trigger show of this season. The show Trigger made, the real show
Yeah,
that Trigger made,
It's
Space Patrol Lulico, which should have been on this list because that is one of the best shows of the season, in my opinion.
Lalico? Oh my god, she's so hot.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Alright, so this
Also-
I love this show on concept alone. And so I just think this is really interesting that they're trying to do the whole world peace thing by sharing everyone's pain, and just because of that it made it my favorite show just on the potential. I really hope it goes on and does something with that because I just think it's awesome. But also I've never seen a Trigger show, and so with this is my first experience from it, I'm down.
Yeah, this is not a Trigger show, really. Like,
I mean,
So
it's fine
little
because it's a good show.
Trigger shows are good. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a Trigger show.
it's written by what's her face? There's like a bunch of stuff. I mean, Mary Okada, whatever she did, like Toradora. Second series,
Alright.
Selector Infected,
Nice.
Golden Time. She does
Alright.
all the drama stuff.
So, I guess I'm gonna give my 2 pieces on this show now because I love this show. I think it's really, really good. And why I think that is because of the characters. Honestly, it's like the concept is great. It's a really cool concept, and these characters, I feel, have a lot of depth. Like, you know, they're all the representations of their sins. The concept of the show sets them up to change and grow together. Like that is it's the first episode sets them up to learn about each other, to grow as people very nicely, which makes me really happy with how I think this show is going to continue.
Andy, please.
It's animated beautifully, and Scott mentioned openings earlier, and if we're talking about openings,
10 out of 10.
this show's 10 out of 10 best opening of the season. Literally, take on me.
It's pretty great.
It's amazing.
Your
You got hands on me. Anyway.
Yeah, this show is great. It's going pretty good. I think the best episode is probably the best part was the first and second episodes, but it's still really good. And
Yeah, I was let down by the last episode with the addition of the 7th character. I didn't like that very much, I'll be honest.
No, this is
But
an
we'll see how
episode
that.
after No, the 7th character's pretty cool.
I don't know. I haven't seen the episode after that. If there is one.
I like all
Alright.
of them basically. They're fun, and the story is interesting. And like, also, I was really happy. My favorite call, because this one wasn't necessarily obvious, was as soon as he introduced the girl running around with fairies, and then the second episode's like, you must give up your biggest secret. I'm like, she doesn't believe in fairies. Immediately thought that. And then it got to her, and she was like, I don't believe in fairies. I'm like, how did I do that? Because that one wasn't even really obvious.
It wasn't, yeah. I mean, once again, these characters are really well set up. Like, they're set up to grow, and they're already cool. And honestly, that character, I can't help but think that they took the model for the, kill umbrella villain person, and just, shook her down a couple feet. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, Nui plus Mako equals print money.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna be selling figures on that one. But,
But she's a dwarf,
you know what?
so it's alright.
yeah. This is, I'm really excited for this show. For the characters.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, by the way. 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10.
I really like the art direction. Not necessarily
Same.
the animation's still a bit cheaper, but the art direction's really good. It's fun. It reminds me of Kill la Kill, really, for art direction, but with more animation.
Yeah. I was gonna, they animated the in-betweens.
Yeah. Which, to be fair,
Fair,
they did in
Which is always
Kill la
good-
Kill.
it's always
They
good
just
sign.
didn't
That's right.
sometimes because they got cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, no, I once again, I agree with you there entirely. Like the art style a lot.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is again much like Mayoga, the only show where the only person that didn't like it was the person who chose it.
Yeah, good job there.
So what we got for scores?
So
It wasn't that I didn't like it. It was that I think it could have done much better.
How?
I don't know. I just think it could have.
I mean, I guess it could have
Alright.
been like the Lord of the Rings original when it was first written, and it would have been perfect. But you know, whatever.
All right. Well, thanks, Ethan. For
I
providing
expected
no
perfection from Trigger, and didn't
Why?
get perfection. Because it's the only
What is-
animation
because
studio
what
I
is
know.
perfection? What is
Haven't you
perfection?
seen Inferno Cop? Inferno Cop is literally perfect.
It's literally Daredevil without Nick Cage.
What?
Not Daredevil. No, the one with the skeleton motorcyclist.
No.
Oh,
That's
Super
so
Scary Hellrider.
Yeah, hell yes. Yeah, Hellrider.
Hellrider.
Inferno Cop is literally perfect. Like, please.
He's literally
don't
Hellrider.
compare
I
it
don't
to
tell you.
trash like Nick Cage.
It's literally Hellrider. I don't know what to tell you.
Have you seen Inferno Cop?
No.
Oh.
Oh my god,
Never
I
heard.
hate you. It's
All right.
Okay.
literally perfect.
Who did the last show? Jake?
No, that was me. I'm currently enjoying
Hold on a
Excluder.
second. Hold on a second. Whoa. We never finished up the scores last time.
I gave this
Oh,
one
yeah.
10.
10 from me, 10 from Scott,
10 me.
10 from Jake.
I gave this one a 6.
What?
It's pretty good. It's not nearly as good as this point. So,
It's really
Okay, so 36. Exactly.
So this show didn't single-handedly carry Ethan, but it almost did.
It put him really close.
Wait, how close? What?
We'll see it.
We'll
Hey,
get to
we'll
that
see
at
it at the end.
Don't
See it.
spoil it.
Okay.
Don't spoil it.
Okay. Back to you, Andy. Sorry about that.
alrighty. So, I got Flying Witch. Now, there may be some plebeians who don't seem to enjoy the relaxing feeling of kicking back with an imaginary family who you have no relation to and do not exist in, our dimension or whatever.
Wait, what? Spoilers?
I mean,
That
I don't
wasn't-
care.
That wasn't a spoiler. That was the fact that they're 2D drawings. They don't exist.
Lies.
Only one way to join the
And so we have the main character who's a witch, and that's only a plot device, in my opinion, in order to allow for more hijinks and antics and nice interactions between characters. I love this show. It's about as nice as I want. The quantity of niceness is the quantity I want to kill Eric right now.
Oh, that's a lot. That's
yeah.
aggressive.
So this show, it's so relaxing, and it is one of the best shows in terms of having an actual child character as opposed to like a lolly or something like that. It's fantastic.
So this show is so relaxing that it makes me want to fall asleep and not wake up.
You know, I
Okay.
hate this show. This show has one redeeming quality,
Jesus.
and that is the Mandrake, which is so weird and
Yeah.
so out of context
yeah,
with the rest of the
I'm
show.
gonna interrupt there. You made me choke my smoothie. You made me choke on that smoothie.
Alright.
For picking this show, you can keep choking. But
Alright, so I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
I liked it because I watched it at ×2 speed, and it made it 10 times more ridiculous. So
It
when
also
you,
ruins like the reaction
Yeah.
time because the reaction time is so slow and how it's actually normal.
Yep.
so Ethan rushed through to finish this to be on the podcast.
Yep.
Throw that out there.
I totally forgot that it was a choice.
But I'm also going to say, I hate slice of life with a passion. I don't care about other people. I don't care about your fictional lives. I don't want to hear about this person living their life, and that just makes me hate it even more.
Jacob,
Here's the thing. I have no life,
Go.
therefore I need to live vicariously through animated characters. So go fuck yourself.
Press one to email for Andy.
But I don't think it was the worst show. I think it was alright. I think it was really weird. But it knew it was weird, so it had a little bit of appeal for that.
This show literally hurt me to watch. I had to force myself through it. The Mandrake, I can understand why some people would think that's funny, but I was just so excited that I was at the 20-minute mark, and that it was almost over, that I couldn't laugh. I was just sighing that I was almost done. I hated this show so much. Like, Jesus Christ.
I think
nothing
if you
was
watched
interesting.
the whole season at 2 times speed, it would be like...
It would be over twice as quickly. It's perfect. But, like, the characters aren't interested in what's happening, so why would I be interested in what's happening?
That's true.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's true.
I thought
Like,
that
none
the
of them
first
put any
episode
emotion
of this
into
show
anything.
was the weakest, but I sort of enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it later. That's my thought. Oh yeah, and then so the tan girl whose name I forget, who shows up later.
Danny Tanner.
She's definitely the hottest girl this season, and like this is a season that includes Emilia Khan and all of JoJo characters, and somehow she's funny.
Have you watched episode 5 yet?
I have not. I don't.
Inukai? This
So I
movie's
looked
good.
up Ten Girl Flying Witch, and the first picture was Konosuba Megumin.
Oh yeah, I did that earlier. Trust me, same words. I was like, what would happen? So she's like third.
Yeah. Yep. Alright. But Andy, do you want to try to pencil some more, Andy?
Yes, okay, so it has tan girl with white hair. It has actual likable child character. It has wolf girl. It has
Oh yeah, Wolf Girl. Those are your furries.
magic, and it has gardening. What more could you want from a show? And if you give it a high rating, I will throw in the additional smoothie. Uh-huh.
Fair enough. Well, I don't know if you guys have anything else to say about it.
So I'm going to say I'm really glad N-Ride was Andy's other show, so I don't feel bad about giving those two the lowest. That's the...
Okay.
Oh man.
So what did you give it?
Only because I felt N-Ride needed to get the 1, just on principle, I gave it a 2.
I wish that there were 11 shows that I could satisfactorily give this a 0. But I was forced to give it a 1 based on the scale that I used.
I enjoyed
Alright.
this show, but I still didn't. The first episode was very on the first episode. I gave this a 3 because it wasn't the best.
I gave this show a 4 because I think it was better than other shows this season, and definitely better than Ed Ride. So
Andy, you broke double digits. Good job.
By how much?
Not by a lot, but you got 10 on that show. So good job.
Alright. Wait, can we get a tally for how many singular shows beat Andy's combined score between the two?
So between the two,
He had 16. No.
wait.
You helped him out a
Every
lot.
show except 100
I know you did
is
it.
2 shows combined.
Nice. Good team.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Every show except for 100 beat your 2 shows combined score.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. So I don't know. Do you want to list through like the ratings of the scores and then
I
see
feel like
the
we should,
so shows then people? I think.
I think we should like do any closing remarks of the season in general,
Oh, okay.
and then
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
get into like the score and go through top 10, like who, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So thoughts on the season. Shows by ranking and then people by ranking.
So, for the first episodes of the shows, I found, and the first time I watched seasonal anime, I found some shows that I really liked, and I'm glad I started this season. And they're a solid half of the shows that I'm looking forward to watching, which I think is a good takeaway from this. And there's another solid half the shows I'm glad I never have to watch again.
Andy,
Andy, we know that you're upset about being garbage. Please keep it in the dumpster. All right, please.
did you just click on the thing that I made?
The truck does not come until Tuesday, Andy.
I did.
this is going in the podcast.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm also going to say that both Eric and Andy chose my 2 shows below a 5, and Ethan and Scott chose the 2 shows above a 6.
Hold on.
Nice.
Okay. this is my first time watching seasonal anime. Usually I just Google, like, what's a good anime? What's a good slice of life? Sorry, I'm garbage. Forgot to put that part in. And this forced me to watch something that wasn't slice of life garbage, so it was pretty good. I think it was good for me in my anime life. So, but Endride, I think I need to get checked for tumors.
You mean rocks?
But yeah, sorry, rocks.
Remove any and all rocks from your body. You're just gonna go around your yard, breaking up every rock you can find and just burning it, melting it down. Anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you can burn rocks.
Melting it down. Excuse me. So sorry for cutting you off on it all there, but I don't think we got my take on the season yet. So I've been watching seasonal anime for like a year and a half now, and usually 3 shows or so that'll follow. Sometimes I don't even finish that many. And this season there's like 5+ shows that I'm interested in that I'm planning on watching the full thing of, and that's pretty cool. This is definitely one of the stronger seasons I've seen in a while. So I'm pretty happy about that. Maybe this is the renewal of anime. Maybe it can be saved. Maybe at its core, I'm not garbage. Maybe all of us have hope for a future, but probably not. That's it.
Okay, I'll back up this and say I'm sort of the same. I usually watch seasonal anime, but I usually like I'll get my usually like 6 or 7, but I'll really like couple, and the rest I'll just kind of put on hold and maybe get back to. But this season I am up to I believe 9 or 10 shows that I'm following continuously, and I'm caught up on. Because this season's really good, and with really like a lot of shows like Kumamiko and Ray Zero, which we just didn't get to talk about, and they were great.
Yeah.
But and Iron Fortress and stuff, those are great. But this stuff we chose, some of it was really good, and it was a lot of fun. This season was fun.
To begin at the end there, Scott just kind of petered out of existence.
I heard that. It was fun for me.
Okay, so I feel that like sending a small child outside into the wilderness, watching seasonal anime is a great way to build up your autoimmune system to fight off diseases like these shows. So I feel like I need to add a couple more to my list of STDs. However, I think that this show can be summarized pretty easily by saying every show here is worse than Evangelion, and Evangelion is the absolute worst show in existence. So, yeah, that's about it.
I'm pretty sure those statements contradict each other.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't.
My bad, okay.
Not when you're a true otaku.
And we're done.
True Koritaku would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this whole season is clearly just a reference to when he went back in time and did a battle of the bands with Thomas Jefferson to end slavery.
You guys are the real cancer. I'm sorry.
Corey in the house.
You thought the cancer was Endride, but it was us all along.
Yeah, but that's a very fair point that he brought up, that watching seasonal anime does kind of train you to be more alert about shit, which I think is a good thing, because you can avoid it in the future. Or purposely step in it and smell it, if you're that way inclined.
Yeah, I guess it's always someone's fish.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so I guess, are we ready for show numbers, I guess?
I think so.
Okay, so last place with 6 points, we have Endride. That's no surprise. Then, with second to last place, 10 points, we have Flying Witch, which also puts Andy in last place with a total of 16 points. Congratulations to Andy, you scored 5th.
Wait, Flying Witch was below 100?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anjobi Omedeto, Andrew-san.
Oh.
Jacob, really outlier threw off that one.
Yep.
I'm sorry, team.
But speaking of 100, third to last 100, 15 point.
Almost half of which were from me.
Yep.
20 points to Gryffindor!
That was a show. Then we have Joker Game with 19 points.
Woohoo!
Now we go actually check the shows. Gunbuster with 20 points in 5th. 4th? 5th? One of those points. People that pay.
Scott, please, you're cutting out so much.
No one can hear you.
I can hear me, and that's what matters.
Alright.
I wonder if my Skype settings reset, because
I wonder if Skype is actively sending agents to hack your computer to run this podcast.
No, I meant
that's what it
because
seems
my
like.
Skype shut off. I wonder if it restarted.
Okay, let's just wrap this up, guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause-
next we have a total of 5 points. We have
Please go.
Bogoro Stray Dogs. Then we have with 29 points Boku no Hero Academia. Then we have with 30 points Leoga. Then we have with 31 points JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 4. And then topping it off, the best show of the season, according to us, 36 points to Kids Niver.
Yay, I got the best show.
Yep.
All
So
right,
Ethan
so
wins
let's go
best
up.
show. Then for
Yes,
total
yeah.
points, we have last place, we already said Andy, 16 points. Second to last, we have Jacob with 45 points. Then we have Eric with 48 points. Then Ethan with 51 points. And then me with 61. Get wrecked.
What a champ. Okay, Scott. Nice, well played. I'll
I
say
win
well
because
played.
I run this podcast.
All right. All right. I'll take my third place.
All right.
It's fine.
Well, thank everyone for watching. Thank you.
Yeah, you know,
Alright, so
anyone who's
I-
made it this far, I'm actually very impressed.
Don't come to
So-
school on Monday. I'm mad about being
Oh
passed.
god, Andy, you can't say that.
Some of you are pretty cool. So just
Andy,
you can't
you
say
can't
these
say that.
things on the
Eric,
internet.
Eric, I'm sorry.
Andy, you gotta know what you can say on the internet.
I don't give a shit.
we live in a post 9/11 America, Andy.
This can only go well.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, so thanks for watching.
So, at this point, am I a guest or am I going to be a recurring member?
Isn't that what a guest is?
Guest.
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
Congratulations.
thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, no
Yeah,
problem.
thank you
Okay,
for
thanks
having
to our
me as well.
guest, at least for now, Ethan and Jake. They were good
Woo.
sports. And
Yeah,
they
no, you guys-
picked
you guys
some
are
good
great.
shows.
Hey, I got second, so there we go.
It's true. And if, honestly, I'm someone had to have picked Kids Niver, and I'm glad you ended up doing it.
I
Yeah,
would,
see,
I
was just trying
almost
not, I
did
thought Andy was gonna
because
pick it, so I didn't pick it in the second round.
Beyblade was a show this
Yeah.
season, so I almost.
Why didn't you pick Andy? Why didn't you pick Beyblade as the joke show? What are you doing?
You know what? I've lost control over my life at the moment. I'm just gonna close the Skype chat. Go partially study for chem, partially study whatever manga I have left in my reading list.
Study.
Alright, see
extensively.
you guys.
Au revoir.
Okay,
All right.
so this has been a
Peace.
production of Slapdash Incorporated, son. See you all tomorrow.
Let us not go quietly into the night. Let us instead shout "Ree!" and then close it off.